Alright. What else are we even gonna accomplish out here? Besides just meeting a new faction and so on. The thing is, these could almost be a group of dudes that we kind of got off on the wrong foot with. Hard to be sure. Well, stealing money, not stealing. Opening first aid box, stealing. Same area. It's always goofy, but at least these games are usually not as goofy as Outer Worlds, where just completely nonsensical things would count as stealing or not stealing. And I'm like, isn't this entire game company property? What the fuck determines anything being stealing or not? You'd be like, there'd be a random thing laying in the middle of a field, it's like, that's stealing, but right next to it is stuff that's not stealing. It would drive me insane. So we came all the way out here to try to recruit a new sheriff with a good sense of justice and whatnot, or, you know, just, you know, I guess the impossible task of trying to find a good cop. It kind of seems like we might want to try to push the deputy to become the new sheriff if we can, because the other options are to give the area over to military rule under the new California Republic, which is extremely, like, final season of Walking Dead shit. Let's rebuild old America. What can go wrong with that mentality? But then the alternative is to give it over to the guy who was like, you know what? Due process is just red tape that gets in the way of me and my Punisher style, Judge Dredd style being I should be the entire justice system, single-handedly. Humans are famously infallible at observing their surroundings and judging the morality of scenarios and their own biases, and you should really be able to just, like, enact justice the moment you see a scenario. It's like, the fact that he's in prison for... Oh, I cannot stress enough how bad of a cop you have to be. Like, how far you have to be in the wrong territory and being so over the line to be successfully imprisoned for your cop behavior. That's dark. That's distressing. Like, cops that do horrible things are regularly not imprisoned for it in real life.
Any lawman that comes after me won't have it easy.
It's like, what the fuck did he do that he's underselling? Where he sounds bad when he's steelmanning himself by presenting himself as, like, he's telling me the story of himself from the perspective where he's the protagonist and the good guy, and he already sounds not good, is the issue.
It's about time a new customer showed up around here. Was getting sick of dealing with the same faces all the time.
You're inside of a place where no one can come in. Do you not understand that? You're a traitor?
I was always the guy who could get things, if you know what I mean. Figured I might as well keep on doing it.
What'd you do to end up here in the first place?
I worked in a casino in New Reno, and one of the pit bosses decided he didn't like me. Framed me over some caps, and I ended up in here.
There's a New Reno and a New Vegas. What can you tell me about this place?
This is where the NCR sent prisoners to reform through hard labor. I never saw much reforming around here myself.
Why do you stay here?
Don't have any other place to go. I'd just end up back in another prison or dead out in the wasteland. If I don't have anything you like, well, tough. I don't do special orders.
Oh, you sell a bunch of cards. You desperately want to collect cards for that game. In fact, you might almost only sell cards. Guess I might as well just collect cards just in case, even if I never use them. Stim packs ain't coming away cheap, are they? Since I gave you way too many, didn't I? No, even that's not going to get me any further. Oh, that's a grenade, not dynamite.
Give me a shout if you need anything else. You got it.
Radaway would not hurt, actually. I've basically not had any of that yet. Do arrow keys work? Okay, you just have to reach all the way to the arrow keys.
Thanks. See you.
See you.
Damn, run low on smokes again.
It's hard to say about these people because they were in prison, but by whose standard is the question. Like that guy claims he was framed, but was he? And then just going by his story is kind of a tough bet. And if you are using people for labor at your camps, that creates a perverse incentive structure where you may want to, you know, increase how many prisoners you have. So you might be a little more hasty with your, you might escalate some laws to be a bit unreasonable, or you might even just be a bit too hasty with your investigations altogether and start convicting people that aren't necessarily guilty of anything because you benefit financially from doing so. AKA the new California Republic recreating the problems of our modern world. I do kind of want to, it makes me kind of want to go back and replay the dialogue that led into this incident with Ringo. It probably wasn't unreasonable to defend Ringo from that situation, but I do wonder what exactly all the lead up was to that scenario. And whether or not there might be justification with the, hello. Like if the powder gangers might have a justified reason for behaving that way with said factions. I don't remember the exact crisis or setup exactly at this point. I just remember that he needed help and I helped him get out. I went to him with the goal being to help sneak him out, but he was either going to stay or have a fight apparently.
Never gets old when something blows up.
At that point it just became the town versus this gang of dynamite people. And so from that perspective, you know, the perspective of the town, the sides are really clear. I just wonder if there might be less clear outside of that. Because I'm kind of primed for this game to get really muddy, in part because of the fact that we went on this investigation about the, what to do with the sheriff, and all the options are kind of their own form of bad in interesting ways. Though they're also bad in ways where I can see people investigating the situation. I get, like, depending on who you are as a player, you might walk into the scenario and be completely unfazed. And be like, oh yeah, this guy sounds great. I'm not registering at all why he might be a bit of a red flag for the sheriff. Either because I completely missed the meaning of what he's saying, or because I just agree with that entire thought process and actually think it's good. And also, all the protesters are dumb and wrong, and police are great all the time. Which is just a whole chunk of real people. And at least someone in the comments probably arguing, inevitably.
Heard there was a new face around. I'm the doctor around here. Sort of.
Why are you sort of the doctor?
I was an NCR medic for 6 months, so I'm not exactly a doctor. Still, it's more medical training than any of the other guys here. It also gives me an excuse to stay out of any raiding parties. The gang can't lose its only doctor now, can it?
What'd you do to end up in here?
Medical supplies go for a decent amount of caps in the right markets. I figured the quartermaster wouldn't notice any missing. I was wrong.
What did you do before?
Let's see. I've been a farmhand, a bouncer, a bandit, and an NCR trooper. I don't recommend any of them.
What's your reason for staying?
The location by the highway makes it a good spot to shake down any travelers passing through. That's why Eddie and the rest are still around. Me, I like having big walls between myself and the wasteland.
How did you all manage to escape?
One night, there was a big explosion from the other cell block. I had no idea what was going on, so I took cover in my bunk. When it was all over, the guards were dead and we were free. Most of the other prisoners scattered, but a few of us stuck around, obviously. Later.
Although, frankly, the few of you that stuck around still is like the most populated area we've seen in this game so far.
Evening.
Takes a while to poke around these areas. Ooh. Worrying floor situation you guys got here. Scrambler. Oh my god. President Peaches.
What are you looking at?
You. Why are you called Scrambler?
Why? It's because I mess up people so bad they don't know what part goes where when I'm done.
What, like they forget what bodies look like, or? What'd you do to end up in here?
Not much. Just killed a bunch of people. Maybe a couple kids, too. Whatever.
Well, how'd you all break out?
Dynamite. Lots and lots of dynamite. You should have seen the body parts flying everywhere.
What do you do around here?
I keep an eye on my buddy Eddie. Anybody messes with him and I scramble them real good.
Bye.
Uh-huh.
Dawes said he let somebody in. So you going to give me a reason not to kill you and throw your body back outside?
I paid? Oh, Jesus Christ. What do you need done?
This is Powderganger territory, my territory. Most of the guys around here understand that. One, Chavez doesn't. Chavez formed his own crew and have been hitting traitors on their own. Everybody I've sent after him either got killed or weren't able to catch him. That leaves you. What do you say?
You only want me to deal with Chavez?
Chavez is the ringleader. Without him, his crew will fall apart, and I don't give a shit about those guys.
I'll need to think about this.
Fuck you for wasting my time, then.
Let's see. Yeah, I gave them the benefit of the doubt, kind of, for a moment, but, like, they do seem pretty awful, generally speaking, so I don't think there's really much of a surprise with these people. And I'm also remembering, I think last episode there was a conversation where somebody talked about, like, we got walls, we got water, electricity, and if we get hungry, we steal it. It's like, okay, well, you're actively in a place where in a realm where people struggle to get by. You're choosing to make lives harder for everyone else around you instead of setting up seemingly any kind of infrastructure for actually growing food or farming or so on. So yeah, they're probably trash. How'd you end up in this place?
Why do you care? Answer, you shouldn't. I don't feel like trading life stories.
How'd the breakout happen?
It was all Cook's idea. He and his boys managed to swipe some dynamite and hide it away in their cells. The rest of us just tagged along. Cook's crew headed north while the rest of us stuck around for payback.
What can you tell me about the prison?
The NCR called it a work-release prison. We lucky prisoners got the privilege of fixing up the rail lines and blasting rock for new lines. They got sloppy, though. Some of us managed to hide away some dynamite, and look who's in charge now.
What do you know about Cook?
One mean son of a bitch. Really truly hates the NCR for some reason. And he got a lot of the other guys around to his way of thinking.
Where's Cook now?
He and his crew went north. I heard talk about some sort of big plan to get back at the NCR, but haven't seen them since.
Bye.
Yeah, get out of here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
There's probably some decent people mixed in here, but are like sort of cowardly enabling the situation by giving them more manpower and so on. Lying, congressional style. But generally speaking, it's hard to say no to that when you have walls and you got something to get by with. But I don't think that their leadership are people that I want to get mixed up with.
You eyeballing me?
God, they're really quick about noticing that, even when I'm behind them. I'm not really looking to recruit this guy either, so I think we're probably done here. This does just kind of seem like more mess for the NCR to think about. And their mess is not my mess. Sloan. Maybe Sloan is where they went to when they talk about having gone north. I feel like I should push Beagle to become the new sheriff. He was the deputy. There was a dialogue option at one point that was like, wait, what are you talking about? You're sheriff now. Which I think was calling out that exact thing. But I didn't pick it, and it wasn't there afterwards, I don't think. Deputy Beagle.
Any luck finding a suitable candidate for our next sheriff?
What are you doing in here?
Well, a deputy isn't much good without a sheriff. So I figured I'd come in here and protect these good people until someone finds us a new one. Maybe next time you can bring a new sheriff back with you. Any luck finding a suitable candidate for our next sheriff?
I'm still looking.
I do thank you so kindly for your efforts.
Do you think Prim Slim could be sheriff?
Well, I reckon he could be a sheriff if you have the skills to reprogram him.
God, I was not serious. See you later.
Bye.
Oh my god, you can reprogram Prim Slim to become the new sheriff? That'd be the... If you're good enough at that programming, you could potentially make a sheriff in your own image. Like, a sheriff that would be what you hope a sheriff would be, hopefully, instead of whatever the fuck your other options are. It might be the good ending if you're good enough at it, but I don't know if I can.
Howdy, partner. Welcome to the Vicky and Vance Casino and Museum.
Reprogram Prim Slim to serve as Prim's sheriff using 3 fission batteries and 4 conductors.
Ah, shucks. System runtime error. Unable to initialize law enforcement protocols, partner. Ah, shucks.
Alright. 3 fission batteries and 4 conductors. Okay. I need to write this down somewhere. Oh, right. I have not used my journal for a while. What's the last page I had in here? Let's see. I haven't used this for a while. There's Elden Ring in here. There's, yeah, I used it for a bunch of pages of it for Tunic. I made a page for We Were Here Forever, then didn't write much. Stanley Parable. The Looker. Escape Academy. Alright. Fallout New Vegas. Prim. We need 3 fission batteries. God, Trying to write quickly was a huge mistake. I made a huge mess of this. And then 4 conductors. I mean, I am so out of practice with writing by hand. Unsurprisingly. Kind of set that down. That's the kind of thing I need for this stuff. For just weird specific details. Because this won't even be listed as a quest, most likely. It might be. Not that specifically, probably. I have seen fission batteries before, and I specifically opted not to pick them up because I didn't want to be full of too much bullshit in my inventory. Yeah, they don't give me that bit specific of a detail. So I'm not going to be able to reprogram him with programming because I'm a bad computer boy. But I do have repair skill if I have the right... So maybe that's why it lets me do it if I have the right parts. So I guess I'll just continue forward in my adventure. And if I find those specific parts, I'll then come back. I think I found fission batteries in the nearby buildings, but I'm doing a fucking gameplay thing, so I don't want to sit here and re-explore the same buildings that I already spent an entire episode doing with the hopes of finding something I think I kind of remember. I might do it off camera between episodes and check some buildings again when I'm not doing the show. That's an idea. But it kind of puts this entire quest on pause for now. I take it that these are... take it that these 4 on the bottom are the DLCs, which normally you don't want to do this at the beginning of the game. I think we're going to be continuing forward through the world. Mojave Outpost neutral. It's one of these, right? Yeah. The midnight showing. We'll continue south for now. And see what comes of it. This is a pretty clever setup for the narrative. Is that a mine? Is that my first mine? Can I deactivate it? Oh boy! Okay. Rude. What team are you on? It's an NCR troop. I'm okay. Alright, let's head south. Along the road. At night. When the game's its safest. Yeah, decent setup for a story that guides you to go check stuff out, but it's itself not handholdy and linear and forcing you to do a specific thing. So you're hinted at that you may want to go to New Vegas, which isn't that hard to find. It's a landmarky and lights and buildings and is Vegas, so it's not exactly music. What was that? Not exactly music, just strange sound I don't know what to make of. Friend or foe? Is that an alarm? Something local? Oh.
You better get out of here. Hey!
Oh, bad idea. I've gained karma. Wow. Your life wasn't... Ow. What the fuck? Why is his body oh, I'm being shot at. I thought his body exploded on me somehow. You're so fucked when I learn how to run. Come on! Can't help but feel a little iffy on the idea that the first guy had not actually done anything to me yet, but was labeled red. So murdering him counted as something that was just kind of inherently good. I gained karma for killing him. Holster your weapon. Oh, there it is. Haha. Oh. I don't think they're friendly in there. Oh, there was more of them than I thought there was. Wow. Everyone in this entire building is a big meanie. Oh god. I don't even know where the other person attacked me from.
Maybe I'm just jumpy.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Okay, maybe I should go inside. Hi. Aw, look at you. What the fuck are you doing in here? Hey, I leveled. That's exciting. Someone about to come through that door and attack me? Or is it all bugs? Why is the entire building you guys are in just completely infested? Weren't they attacking you too? Are you besties with these? How does this work? Wow. You just decide, what, you decide to punish someone like this? Might have oversold a little bit there. Oh, there we go. It was counting me as being in combat still. Gotcha. Just rip his leg clean off. I don't even know who those people were. They were just apparently the attack on sight types. More cards. Medicine, barter, speech, 4DR. Purified water. Not bad. And more sarsaparilla. The Wonder Glue's worth more, apparently. Ah, I picked up the other one too on accident. Reloading bench. Hello. Potentially useful. I wasn't even particularly looking for a fight, just kind of taking a look around. Alright, we need to pick a piece of apparel to wear and drop the other ones. This stuff is too much. Merc Charmer. Medicine, barter, and speech. Doing explosives and lockpick, which is not great. Alright, this is especially bad. Alright, let's get rid of that one. Its durability had reduced enough that it was actually doing less defenses anyway. There we go. Now I can walk around again. I generally want to collect drugs and other things that I can sell reasonably without them filling my entire goddamn inventory up the way that that clothes do. Also, you can wear them sometimes. Although the risk of drug addiction makes me never want to use drugs in these games. What is this, Lisa? Ah. Wish I would stop making this mistake. What's the DPS in this thing again? Ah, I wish it would just show both. 21, 36. Yeah, this is a huge spike. It really throws me off that the accept and decline and leave and exit and so on buttons just move around based on which thing you're interacting with. So I keep pressing the wrong ones. Just gonna take an extra second to pause each time to really think about what I'm about to do. Or I'm gonna be spending some time in the inventory. Wonder glue is apparently just fucking fantastic. It's just, it is super glue. It's glue of such great power that it's worth 10 times as much as other stuff that you tend to find in there. I don't want your ashtray. This isn't even turned on. Right? It shows violence. Uh-oh. They're still choosing violence. Stop choosing violence. Damn, wasn't I healed when I came out here? Stim pack. Expired.
Had enough?
Dickhead!
Damn.
Oh, that's the leader. I killed everybody in your gang already. You're gonna be lonely at this point regardless. Metal armor. Oh yeah. That's probably what I need, honestly. That's probably a high value gun. So it's probably worth grabbing. Am I under encumberment yet? Not yet. The number of consumables I'm picking up might be getting to be a problem. Is this 2 weight for 1 sarsaparilla? I'll just drink the sarsaparilla. I need to heal anyway. There we go. Ah!
Come on.
How are there always more of you? Are you scripted to appear when I came back outside? What's up? A lead pipe. Whoa. That thing's got 51 deeps. The fuck? Yeah, I'm giving up on this thing. Bye, jumpsuit. Just cannot deal with the constant weight problems. So tire arms are dead to me already, huh? Lead pipe is already such a spike of DPS by oh yeah, it's even fast. Not very long, but it's clearly very fast. Squirrel stew. Would you like some rads? You're welcome. That did not heal me all that much. Junk food. Also gives you health. That's fun. Where are my rads listed, by the way? Weight, HP, DR. Stats. Status. My limbs are not amazing right now. Radiation. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna be drinking rad away like it's candy later, but for now, I'm not actively obliterating myself. So, I've got that going for me. Woe be unto anyone who is hoping for this game to end anytime soon, because it's going to be a big one, I'm sure. But it is kind of refreshing to have a bingeable game again. What happened to you? I didn't even do this. What mainly happened to you is you didn't even have armor, basically. That ghoul that killed you was richer than you. I feel like you got owned a little bit here. Oh. Ghouls just kind of come walking down from over there. Oh, he sees me. Yeah. Well. I'm so popular. Rebound. I'm so liked. There we go. Yeah, no, this could be going better. But yeah, it's for me, it's refreshing to have a kind of. It's hard to articulate what makes a game this way or isn't, but this is a fairly bingeable game. I can kind of just keep going for a while, which is handy. Because Planescape's been the opposite. Having to manually read all of the dialogue out loud while navigating a relatively old CRPG and its details and nuances and whatnot. It does get tiring. It's not a bad thing specifically, but I noticed myself struggling to ever get as much recording done as I wanted to. Whereas, yeah, like a Fallout game or Yakuza, I can definitely just settle in for a while. But to before I make any other mistakes, because I keep getting distracted by everything happening here, the thought I had 3 years ago was about how, like this is clearly where Vegas is, because there's the map of streets. That's clearly where the city is. So you could just go north to Vegas at the beginning, because that's what they hint you at. But these games are generally about going around the world and discovering all the other shit along the way. Kind of like how in the first Fallout your objective is to find a water chip, and then in Fallout 3 your objective is kind of to find a water chip. It's kind of to find your dad, then it's kind of to find a water chip again. It's a version of that. And here, you get shot and try to track that guy down. He's got connections to the strip. So you could just go north to the city and just find out if you can get there. But alternatively, we know that he took the path down here, and everyone recommends taking this path because apparently it's dangerous just to go north from here. But obviously, the real device of this is that following the main story to track down the guy with the checkered suit, which, nice detail there, you make an antagonist with a very recognizable appearance. Not only because that means you can recognize him on the fly if you see him again, compared to all these other guys, because he's got a very distinct appearance, but also you have a very specific thing you can keep asking people about. And then as you follow the chain of his path through this area, you're obviously going to keep encountering all these locations and people, and then each one of those is a multi-hour thing that you get involved in if you want to, and you'll get the opportunity to find a whole bunch of it through this. Like, it's interesting to think about the mechanical function of having this kind of story laid out the way it is in these ways, and the way that this game is set up. It's very thoughtful. Like, it's not just that there's a plot for the sake of having a plot, and then side content for the sake of having side content, and then you just fill them both in thoughtlessly. Like, this, like, the main story is so deliberately designed to make you find the side content, and then that stuff sends you back and forth. Like you could have found the correctional facility just by walking in a direction, because you can always go anywhere you want, but Prim points you there, and then you have this dynamic thing where this location and that location and that location are all tied to each other, and you have sort of like a moral choice to make between them, but also like this location is tied to that location, and that's the place that you met first, and then you're potentially reconsidering how you think about these factions as you get more information and so on. it's just a good system. It's a good idea, while also letting people just get their open world on, which I'm not crazy about. I don't really care about the open world in almost any game, unless it's something like Pathologic, where the environment is deliberately in conversation with the mechanics of the main narrative. My opinion is that even in a good Fallout, it's just open space between all the stuff, so I'm not crazy about it. But the thing that they put across the open world is carefully thought out. That's just neat. And that's my TED Talk. Go to bed.